Good morning, or should I say good afternoon. Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. Today's topic is buyer changes all the terms of the contract right before closing without consulting his attorney or her attorney. Wait till you hear this story. We bring you information that's hot, that's happening right now. And we do apologize. We don't have time to go into a fancy studio with all plants and lighting and LED. I'm giving the information that happened less than 24 hours, and I hope you like it. Okay, so here's what and we're going to get into that now. So as you know, we're in 28 states now. We're dental practice brokers nationwide. We sell dental practices. I'm a dentist myself, and I've been doing the dental practice brokerage for 13 years. I have 10 employees now, including 2 CPA accountants. We're here to help you. Now, we are available to you from 8 a.m. East Coast time to 9 p.m. East Coast time. So give us a ring anytime. Advice, we always give free advice. Be happy to talk to you. It's a hot market now for sellers, I'll tell you. So the phone number to contact us is 201-663-0935. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebroker.com. Call us. Let's see what we can put together for you. Always here to help you. Now, if you're thinking about selling to DSOs, that's a whole world is changing month by month now with DSOs. So we're here to help you. Now, we've been doing this a long time. We work with some of the largest DSOs in the country. We know what they want, how they operate, who their personnel is, who the contact people is, what their underwriting department is like. I mean, we just are there we're there. We're on the beat with them. We're the cop on the beat. We're in the front lines. Things are changing. So we would choose the best DSO for you. We're independent. We don't work for the DSOs. However, often they will pay our commission, so there's no commission to the seller. And if you work with us, I'll often get your legal fees reimbursed at successful closing based on certain criteria. And we've done that multiple times. So give us a call and we're going to get on this for you, whatever you need. So what happened? This is like chaos again. The buyer was buying real estate. Obviously, we changed some of the information to maintain privacy. Buyer is buying real estate and a dental office simultaneously. Now, historically, banks will pay 100% financing for the dental office, about 20% financing, 80% financing for the real estate. The banks can sometimes play with those numbers and decrease the amount of down payment on the real estate if it's a great practice. Sometimes you can come in with no money down whatsoever, get 100% and 100% on both, depending on criteria, depending on the bank, the cash flow. But this is a situation where the buyer didn't have all the money for the real estate. They're getting 100% for the practice, but they don't have all the money for the real estate down payment, which would have been 20%. So the seller is holding 10% of the real estate money, and bank approved that. So this way it's less burden for the buyer. The buyer's only putting 10% down on the real estate. Okay, so everything's all set. The bank approves it. The buyer's attorney, seller's attorney, everybody's on the same page. Buyer goes through underwriting. Buyer is approved for this model. Now, when you have amortization or how many years you have to pay, real estate usually 20 years, dental office 10 years. Okay? So, you base your repayment schedule and your approval is on that year, those years of amortization, those years you're going to pay out the note. Everything's all set. So we're coming down the home stretch. There's some negotiation going on, of course, landlords always. But, we're ready to close very soon. The next thing I know, like Tuesday morning, I get this text message from the buyer. He says, I'm changing the terms of the financing after consulting with someone I know. I said, well, what are you talking about? We mean, this bank loan's already approved, set up on the terms. you're putting 10% down. Well, the buyer says, I don't want to put anything down. I want the seller now to carry the entire note of the, 20%, the entire note for the mortgage, and I'm not going to put anything down. And I had a meeting with the buyer, but I'm going to accelerate my note. Instead of 20 years, I'm going to accelerate the note to 10 years because I'm so confident I'm going to do well. But for me to pay him off in 10 years, I want the seller to hold the entire mortgage. And I'm saying, wait a minute, you can't accelerate your amortization, which is based on 20-year payout for the real estate, because it makes it easier for you for 20 years. If you cut it down and accelerate it to 10 years, that means you have a much tighter cash flow. And who says the seller wants to carry your mortgage at 20%? 10%, they take a chance. So who says 20%? He says, well, we present it to them and they're going to talk to their advisors. And I'm saying, you got to talk to the bank. The bank may not permit this because you're decreasing your time that you're paying the real estate. You're doubling up every month. It's going to be a lot more money for you. Oh, we can handle it because we're really positive. We got a great marketing plan. I'm like, no, you may have a great plan, and I think you will do very successful. And mind you, I've worked with the doctor a couple of times. It's not the first time. So I had a lot of confidence in the doctor. But he comes up with this, I would call it foolish advice that he got from somebody to accelerate his mortgage payments for the real estate if the seller holds the entire real estate note. Now, mind you, real estate's going down in value now. We're in a funny time in March of 2023. These are troubled times. So, and you're trying to pay off this note faster, doesn't sound right. And I am not comfortable with this. So I spoke to the banker, and the banker says, no way. We're not going to approve the note because they're accelerating or decreasing the time they're paying off the real estate. They're keeping 10 years for the dental office, great, but they're going from 20 years down to 10 years for the real estate. So 10 years for dental practice, 10 years for real estate. The bank is not happy because it will affect the cash flow. They're not going to approve the loan. I then hear from the seller. The seller said, I'm not holding 20% on the real estate. I was willing to hold 10%, but I'm not holding 20%. What are these guys doing? What is this doctor doing? Where did he come up with this plan? I said, look, I don't know. I got advice from somebody, maybe got it off the internet. I have no clue. But I think he's making a huge mistake. So we're trying to manage it with the buyer now to bring that buyer back into reality. And the buyer's not communicating. And the buyer doesn't realize they could lose this deal. They are not communicating. They're not responding to emails. Now, this happens sometimes. When people don't know what they want to do, they freeze and do nothing. No communication, don't return emails, don't return text messages, don't make phone calls, nothing. They shut down. Now, we as brokers, we're accustomed to this. We know it's not going to last forever. I also know, and I'm telling the buyer now, hey, the seller gave me instructions, keep it on the market. Call your other buyers that were interested. I'm not holding a 20% mortgage on the real estate. And I'm trying to communicate to the buyer, you guys better wake up. You're about to lose the deal. And this is where you're in an emotional time now. And we, as brokers, are accustomed to handle these emotions. Because sometimes, beyond dollars and cents, you got buyers that are having an emotional experience, I guess. I don't know what the frig they're doing. I'm used to this chaos. But the buyers are probably shaking in their boots about something. What it is, I don't know. But we have a problem here. We will resolve this problem. I'm just letting you know what happens. And this happens all the time. Not all the time, but it does happen. You got to be prepared. As buyers, you're not ready for this. You're not ready, and reasonably so. I wasn't ready 30 years ago. So we're just accustomed to the chaos. We've got to communicate with the banker, communicate with the attorneys, try to reason with the buyers, and try to get this resolved. Never easy. Keep you posted. Thank you for listening. Got some great stuff coming up. I'm getting calls from Georgia, Tennessee now. And let's see, where else are we? I don't know. I have to go down to Tennessee. And I got to go out to Nevada. But we're available too. We should be sending out the new list soon. Remember, if you're not getting the list that we send out, which is different than the internet, you've got to sign up. Just sign your non-disclosure agreement. We have new information coming out. We've just picked up a bunch of practices, which we will be listing. All right, team, it's showtime. I'm going bike riding. Got to catch up with a bunch of stuff. And we are looking good. Happy Easter, everybody, and happy holidays to everybody.